Hello.
And we're live! Hello, ladies and gentlemen. What is this madness? Hello. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome back to Naturally One. Welcome back to Naturally One.
I am providing a very unique commodity.
Please tell me the names of your companions.
Who, what, when, where, and why? I don't know if you've captured Hal yet.
Bob is sleeping outside and boiling acorns and having a good time.
Hey, how's our patient doing? Still alive back there, buddy?
Bob, I want you to roll me some percentile dice. Not only is there no pulse, he's cold.
I guess that's one less thing we have to drag around.
I got horns. I got some teeth, kind of sharp. I got some tricks up my sleeve.
And make sure that we don't cut ourselves on glass. This one's mostly
Can we
dead.
use one of the dead bodies to break out the rest of the jagged glass at one of the windows so we don't hurt ourselves?
If you look close enough, you might notice that his eyes are moving so fast that you wonder how he can see anything. And I'm going to say, this is for hurting my friends. And I take my dagger and put it right underneath his chin. Right.
Actually kill him?
Oh yeah, he's dead. I want him.
Oh!
Small human in a big city for the first time ever in his life.
Let me guess, the
Decision, but not
highlight of
one
your
it.
life is what you're gonna do in order to make a name for yourself, maybe one day even slay some really cool monsters. Just like every one of those guys over there.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I'll be here next year. I'm gonna climb that ranking as high as I can, and I ain't gonna stop until I reach as high as I possibly can get.
Hi, everybody. So, trying to think of any other announcement-y type things. We got D&D tonight. We should be able to do D&D next week. That's all the big ones. I'm working on a bunch of things when it comes to the world lore that will make it accessible to some of you guys, players-wise, and also to you viewers. I have ways of doing some of that, and I just haven't finished it because time and energy and dopamine all have to kind of coalesce at the same time. But that has the world map in it, and there's some interactable elements to it where you can like click on the little cities and stuff. I've been working on it in World Anvil, #not sponsored, but you guys want to sponsor me, I will happily take it. And it is a very powerful tool for things like that, because then you'd be able to like click on City of Golden Spires and be like, oh, here's a map of the city, and click on the places and get little readouts and affiliations and families, and all those sorts of details are all things that can be mapped in there, and some of them are, some of them aren't. So I'm working on that, and you'd be able to have a map that makes sense. And so when I say things like the False Sea or the Hardy Sea, or the True Ocean, like there's multiple, like those are the three main bodies of water in the world here. That's where we can do that. Actually, the on the map that's here on screen, that we're all kind of sitting on top of, in the dead center there, that is the Hardy Sea, I believe. And then the ones close to Bob there, that one is part of the false sea. And then the one right beneath me, that's part of the True Ocean. Anyway, all those regions and things will be accessible on that map, and we'll figure out what to do with that at some future point in time, because that's, what we do and where we are and how it's going. So that's that part of the house cleaning. Let's see, episodes are on YouTube, maps and things will be accessible eventually. I'm trying to find a better virtual tabletop, because the one that I had backed on Kickstarter is not going to work for what we need, which sucks, because their integration with D&D Beyond isn't as tight as they had originally planned, and so it makes it nearly impossible without you guys rebuilding your character sheets every time you level up. It's great. So we're not going to do that. We're going to have to figure something else out, but eventually there will be some virtual tabletop elements so that we can all kind of see what's going on instead of all playing Mind's Eye. We can actually be there and, crying as giant worms tunnel through things, and you watch as players fall behind, where it'll be a little bit more visual instead of just Mind's Eye of really how big of a difference it is when a full round action is 30 feet and another person's full round action is nearly 100. So, such things happen.
You're never gonna let that go. You're not over it yet.
I'm not over it yet. I really am not. You might be, but I'm not.
Move on, man. It's 2 sessions ago?
Yes, which in game is like, 24 hours tops? Come on now. When we're playing, I get into, it is game time. That is where it's like loading up a character save into my persona of like, Okay, where did we leave off? Okay, we are literally right now mere hours away from, post the discovery of Theo's demise, and so that's where we're gonna pick up here. Is last session party had to do their. I mean, yes, ultimately, but the party had started with the reckoning of what had taken place.
Tears were shed.
Yeah. Tears were shed, some angry words were shared, some angry thoughts were shared.
Bodies were looted.
Bodies were rummaged through for the elements that they can work with going forward from their fallen comrade. There was an interesting discovery of how quickly the mushroom grotto begins to absorb the next element into its nice, myconal system as Theo slowly begins his return to the earth. The rest of the party brushing themselves off and still fuming in frustration, but many hours underground, continues onward in their exploration, going through a previously yellowed fungus tunnel where it had glowed in a sickly hue, now slightly more green, after they had vanquished what appeared to be a humanoid that had been corrupted in some form or fashion. Traveling forward, they began to spiral physically. The pathway began to turn and appear to spiral upwards. And after some time, it was revealed that Klor had a map from his adventures prior to meeting up with the party. And on that map, there is a section that matches loosely to the spiral that they were on that says to Atrium. Only a handful of the labels on the map made sense as to what they were or where they were going. And the Atrium itself is not on Klor's map. Realizing that they were tired and, emotionally, physically, they decided to return to the Mushroom Grotto and get some much-needed rest, giving several players more time to take a breather, have a bite to eat, and to replenish some of the levels of exhaustion they had accrued over the course of the last day and change. Namely Klor, who had 2 levels of exhaustion. That's kind of where we pick up here. It's hard to tell whether it's night or day, being this deep underground. You just really are more aware of time passing and how tired you get. Party is slowly coming to, waking, or resting up.
Full rests?
You did. You guys did 2 full long rests to give Klor time to recoup. Hard to say now where your circadian rhythm's really at now that you've been underground for several days, on the run, or running, or being pursued or pursuing. Just not exactly the best on the body, but here you are. The mushrooms still continue to faintly glow, their hues of pink and green, a little bit of yellow, some purples. Overall, the room has a dull blue-green hue to it. Ground is still soft, and there were the few of you who noticed the fungal tendrils starting to reach out from the soil and begin to latch on to Theo.
I forget, we decided to just bury Theo there, right? I remember there was discussion about going back for his shovel, and that was kiboshed. And so now we're just trying to think of, and now we were just going to head back out? Because we really were just waiting for Klor
to Atrium.
You went through Theo's things, however, you didn't formally decide what to do with Theo's body yet.
Oh.
You haven't buried him.
Oh.
You did see that nature was beginning to do its thing as Theo's body appears to have sunk about, quarter inch or half an inch, I believe, into the ground.
Theo was always a man of the earth, and I think he'd be okay with becoming part of it again. Someone who was used to breaking soil now becomes part of the soil. It's almost poetic.
Sounds logical to me.
I mean, he was your friend. Tell me if I'm wrong.
I don't think you were wrong.
Well, I'm more interested in getting.
I'm still not happy with you, by the way. I don't think you're wrong.
Well, happy is a state of mind, and it often is a spectrum, and you can be happy and still sad. It's called melancholy, maybe, and
maybe.
And so I think the best thing to do is to keep busy. Don't focus on it too much, and just lead the way. I mean, you were the one with the map, so we could probably just follow you all the way to the atrium, which is up, and we're down. So getting up means out, so we should go.
Agreed. Let's go.
Don't think about it. Don't look at it. It sounds good.
And just kind of looks over at the body. It'd be faster if we moved it over there, I think, 'cause that's where the mushrooms are.
So I'll want to walk over to the body and lift the arm, because it's starting to be reclaimed. So I lift the arm to see if it you know how when you grill meat and it kind of sticks a little bit?
Yes.
I want to see if not that it's grilled, but that kind of little resistance from being attached to the fungal growths. So I want to lift Theo's arm, try to pull Theo's arm and see if it would be feasible to move.
Looking at Theo's body and seeing how badly burned it is, and also remembering how it was being held in Bob's maw, flexibility isn't exactly something that the body has in its current state. It's definitely stiffer.
I'm just seeing if
it's more that it's stiff joints.
But it's not attached to the ground. We can move it over there. It kind of makes sense. The fungus seems to be almost reconstituting. He's a little slimy.
Yes, so on the bottom is where you can see lots of hair-like tendrils that have had a faint glow around them as more and more have begun to connect to Theo's remains. Faint little hair-like tendrils.
Well, I think, are there any particularly colorful shrooms that are about my size?
They're all your size. In the center of the grotto, they're all either your size or larger, except for ones that are even, only a couple inches tall.
Right. Which one looks like the happiest?
Roll me an insight.
The happiest mushroom.
Describe to me one of the happiest looking mushrooms. What am I rolling? Investigation.
Insight.
That's a 12.
Sounds about right.
Okay. Is that with your +1?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. You kind of look over and kind of start going through, and several of them are, just about where the cap is right at your brow, and other ones are you can kind of stand underneath, and the glow is a little bit different at the gills, and just kind of go through, and towards the center they get larger. And it's only a few feet in diameter. I say a few feet. It's I want to say I said it was either 15 or 20 feet in diameter. And as you go towards the middle of this whole thing, this whole center, as you go, they get taller and taller, and the ones in the middle appear to be 6-7 feet tall. So it's. But you find the tallest one, and not too far from it, is one that is surprisingly short compared to the other ones all around it. A little stout. The cap of it is like a pinkish color, and then the glow underneath it is a not a sickly yellow like you saw in the hallway. It's actually more like a neon, bright, vibrant, like a lemon cake. It's got a nice yellowy. Yeah.
Theo would like this one.
Happy.
Yeah. So I walk back out. I guess from underneath. It's not like I didn't disappear into the mushrooms. People could still see me, right?
I mean, you could disappear into the mushrooms.
Into the mushroom forest.
So I come back out of the mushrooms and I say, Klor, I think Penn, that was a good idea. Klor, would it be okay with you if we move the body? I don't want to upset you too much. I know Theo was one of your good friends. I would hate for you to continue. Okay, moving the body. Here we go. Penn, come over here and help grab the other side. And I'm gonna get Theo's feet. The light part.
Yeah. So you watch as Penn just kind of blinks at you, just kind of goes over and looks at the mushroom, the little hairs, and just kind of gently trying to figure out a way to hold on to Theo's shoulders without disturbing too much of the little tendrils. And
It's just a fire. It's just a carry. Get those arms under there, under the pits.
So is Penn looking into the cold, dead eyes?
Oh, Theo's eyes were long closed. I think Klor did the like, shh, you're at peace now, kind of thing.
You're dead.
Yeah.
Close enough. We'll just So,
I'll say no. It's the mushroom to the left. Go to the left. My left. My other left.
Pivot.
My other left.
Pivot.
Pen just continues to almost like glare at you.
Trying to get Theo around a mushroom and like bending him in like half. Pivot.
I said pivot.
Oh my gosh, you guys.
You hear some muffled snaps as like the bones in Theo's feet are kind of like I'm trying to give it a little. I'm trying to give some direction.
Oh boy.
It's like steering a horse with your legs, you know. I'm kind of like pulling on the feet and legs to kind of guide Penn to the happy mushroom.
And you watch as Penn struggles to figure out exactly what it is that you're trying to do here. Just trying to but you can guide the no. Why are we could have just gone and just kind of. The other thing that is noticeable, especially to you, Renningham, is Theo is particularly light.
A lot of the water cooked out, huh?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh. It's like when you.
It's not exactly what you were expecting to have to. When you grabbed the feet, you didn't realize how easy you were gonna have it.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys make your way to the happy mushroom, and as you go and carefully set Theo down from all of the bending and moving, you see pieces just kind of like crumple a little bit differently than they had laid before.
Tasty.
Can I look at where they picked them up from?
Okay.
And see if the depression and indentation. I just want to kind of see if I can surmise the nature of it. Was it like absorbing the nutrients of the body and like that, or was it more pulling it into the ground and trying to make it like part of the surface?
Give me an investigation check.
Okay. Let's go natural 1 for a total of 3. No idea.
So you definitely see that there are fungally things there, and you can see that the body sunk in further than it had been when it first got laid down. But it's hard. Theo not Theo, Penn and Renningham were not exactly the gentlest, even despite their best efforts to picking up and moving Theo's body, so a lot of it's disturbed. You can see where their footprints were, and some of it got shuffled, and it's hard to make out exactly what was going on.
Hey guys, I know where Theo was before you moved him, if we need to remember.
I know. I'll draw chalk around where the body is. That way
we know where it was.
I think that from now on I'm going to refer to this place by its Japanese name, the Happy Mushroom Graveyard.
The Happy Mushroom Graveyard. Oh no, is this the new forest?
This mushroom sparks joy.
All right, shall we move?
With Penn, I said, just put his head up against this mushroom with the yellow and the pink top, and then we'll just leave him here, and it'll be nice and peaceful. This little mushroom's a fighter, just like Theo was, and his body will go to help this mushroom be the biggest and the best mushroom it can. I kind of am definitely not like faking it, but I'm trying to butter up Penn a little bit to make Penn think that like I'm not a heartless monster and I didn't do it on purpose.
Renningham, I think this would go over better if maybe you played one last song in tribute to Theo, please.
Please put Theo's soul to rest.
Theo would like that. In fact, Theo often mentioned how he wished you played music more.
Yeah, back in Theo's hometown, there weren't no one who played a harmonica or a kazoo, or bagpipes or whatever it is, that newfangled instrument Theo never heard before. He was in awe of it. Give us a new one, Renningham.
One last for Theo.
That's incredible.
Yeah. That one's for you, Theo.
Oh, I don't know if my heart can take it. So, roll me a performance check.
That's got to be advantage. He played the song.
Screw it, with advantage. Go for it. Why not?
Oh, okay. 14 with advantage. Not great. Not bad. Not great.
You're not 100% sure. But you look at the mushroom that you've laid, Theo, underneath / against, and as you were playing the song, the mushroom seemed to get, a little dimmer at first.
Properly mournful.
But then afterwards seemed just a little brighter than it had been before when it kind of let you. Could be a trick of the light. It's a little weird in here. It's not exactly uniform. It doesn't stay, little bit of an aurora effect kind of goes on just naturally with the way the lichen kind of ripples and does its thing. So it could have been a trick of the light, but it seemed properly respectful, that mushroom, in regards to what's going on. The other thing you notice as you play is that where it took several hours for the hair-like tendrils to begin to reach out of the soil, here you can already see, after a few moments, the very light glow of the soil around Theo. And while the hair-like tendrils aren't really reaching out just yet, nature seems a little bit more prepared here to do its job.
Neat. The mushroom has accepted him as one of their own.
And we call this nature. Because it's neat.
Isn't that neat? How neat is that?
Would you look at that? Would you just look at that?
You can tell this is a mushroom by the way that it is.
By the way that it is.
The way that it is.
Oh, it's gonna be one of those nights, and I am so here for it. I need it. I've needed it. Oh my gosh, I have needed it.
Is Klor heading out? Is he just kind of like?
Oh yeah, you look. So you look down the hall that we went down roughly 16 hours ago, and you see Klor is already disappearing, looking at the map, and then looking up, and just trying to go back the way that.
All right. Is
Hey guys.
Just taking off.
See you guys.
All right, Penn. Where is Penn still? Did Penn walk off to, or are they?
Penn's
still
behind you, just slicing off little chunks of mushroom from one of the other mushrooms, just kind of adding them to the pouch. And you see Teller is there and kind of takes one, which is a little tiny piece, just kind of nibbles.
I'm sure we could get more mushrooms for your truffle butter, but Klor's taking off. Where's Bob? Bob?
I'm just observing, just enjoying the show here.
Would you like some mushrooms before we head out?
I don't think so. I'm not sure that I trust those mushrooms.
Well, I'm not sure I trust Penn with those mushrooms, but here we are.
You say you don't trust them, and Penn just pops another in there in his mouth. Just, what? It's tasty.
All right, so I guess we're all moving out.
So it would seem. All right, so you pack up your things. No longer as well, they're now your things, aren't they?
I didn't get anything. I don't know.
So you've packed up your things, took your few trinkets and or memorabilia of Theo that you could. You make your way down the glowing hallway, because there's the one that you guys had a little bit of a hot experience during, and the other hallway where it starts off a little dark, but as you continue down, the mushrooms, the lichen along the walls continues to glow, still pretty green. And as you go along, you make your way, find the spot where that husk appears to be further pulled into the wall, and you really know more about what it is just because you put it there. Looking at it now, it looks almost like just a protrusion of the rock, unless you were to get a little close and really look and touch it. Less humanoid, just kind of slowly getting pulled in. Further down, the hallway continues to just kind of do its normal meander. The lichen on the walls, reacts every so often to some of the heavier steps, kind of ripples up and down. You don't see any ripples come back. There's a sweet, faint, but sweet smell in the air, almost floral. It's not just the earthy, pungent smell of the other hallways or the soft, earthy smell of the grotto. This time, as you go, there's just a faint, lightly floral smell mixed in with some of the earthiness. But other than that, you make it to the fork in the hallways. And this is where you had decided to continue on heading right before things spiraled upwards. Roll me... Rinningham, are you in front?
Klor's leading this party.
I am with the old map.
Okay, so... Klor... I'm going to have you roll a perception check.
Don't screw this one up.
Well, here, let me roll it, but I have a question for you, too.
I have an answer for you.
I'm sure
so the answer
17.
is dependent on your question.
Well, I was going to say, Klor would look at the map and everything that we'd already gone through, or that the direction Klor had come from before he met up with the party, is to the left of where they are on the map, correct?
It's to the right.
So obviously there was a level change, a depth change.
So I'm going to try to I'm trying to mapping it in my head real quick so I can then try to draw it out for you how it should look. So here's your map. The direction that you recognize is you came in along the top part of the map and came down on the right-hand side of the map, and then eventually met up with the party. And then the spiral that has the edge that says to Atrium is on this corner of the map. So if you've come up from this way, the direction you would have come is off to the right.
Okay, that makes sense in my head. Okay, my perception was a 17, and we are heading back to the right, which we did before, which was spiraling upwards.
Yes. So you happen to glance down the hallway that's to the left, and while the hallway that you're in now is distinctly green still, looking off to the left, what was greenish yesterday when you visited last has a slightly yellower hue to it than it did the day before. That's
interesting. Is this weird to anybody else?
I'm not particularly a botanist, but yellow is yellow. It just is a little off color. I don't know. Maybe it's tired too.
I can get behind that.
Doesn't look particularly weird to me.
All right, onward and upward.
Right. As you continue onward and upward, the spiral begins same way that it did, slowly making its way up, and you can tell it's a pretty wide circle. You're moving probably 60, 70 feet in order to go up to the next level of kind of where-ish you stop. Kind of judging it, feeling where things are at, using the map to kind of guide you. It's a pretty wide circle. And as you continue slowly upwards with this spiral that's marked to Atrium, the lichen in this hallway slowly becomes yellower and yellower as you go. Where yesterday it was greener.
Yellow is the color of welcoming in their culture.
We hope.
Well, I seem to remember we laid Theo down by a nice yellow, so I don't see anything wrong with this. We'll just keep walking forward.
Theo's with us.
It has developed a taste for blood, and it wants more.
Yellow blood.
Well,
give him ideas.
I've got plenty of blood.
Oh, so you have some to spare. Perfect. Using the map as a guide begins to have diminishing returns, Klor, you realize, as you go another length of spiral, and another length of spiral, and another length of spiral, and...
Yeah, I think the map's away at this point. I think there's really no offshoots, right? It's either spiral up or spiral down at this point.
Yep, and you're heading hopefully towards whatever this atrium is, but the hallway stays this yellow color, and if anything, the floral smell is gone. It's no longer as earthy smelling. It definitely has a slightly more rotty smell.
dying.
Fresher decay would be a better description. And so I think of how to introduce this.
Roll initiative.
No.
Why would you do that?
Okay, just making sure.
That stands out as you continue is that the pulses from the steps begin to be a little bit more prominent. And the color isn't a bright, cheery, happy mushroom yellow. It's more like a mustardy kind of rose kind of yellow. And as they pop up along and echo out, they seem to have a longer tail behind them. It's not just like a little ring, kind of like a scanner down a hallway. These ones kind of like tail out, and it takes a while for it to fade each time. Longer than it was taking to fade before, where it would just kind of like pop down the hallway. The other thing that stands out is that the tendrils of the lichen are beginning to get thicker. Instead of the kind of even matting across that you had seen in the grotto and in the hallway prior, these are thicker lines of it that are glowing more brightly on their own, but there's gaps between them. And the gaps don't appear to go directly to the stone. If anything, there looks to be just darker or possibly even dead lichen just kind of stuck clinging to the rocks, where these thicker tendrils are generating the light instead. It's kind of like picture a slime mold. You know, and just how it starts off branching out and then it makes the thick lines. It's kind of like that, but it's otherwise still quiet, except for your own footsteps.
I'm gonna eat these mushrooms.
Roll me a Constitution saving throw.
I said I'm not gonna eat them.
Oh, I thought you said you were gonna eat them.
No, I said Pen goes, I don't think I'm gonna eat these mushrooms.
I heard I'm gonna eat these mushrooms.
You still have to roll Constitution saving throw for not eating them. It's a willpower.
Yeah. Roll for resistance to eating mushrooms.
And has developed a crippling addiction to eating strange mushrooms.
That would be awesome.
Pen has succumbed to cordyceps. Roll for initiative.
Oh boy.
Good old Last of Us. I need to watch episode 3. Anyway.
I play the game.
You do need to play the game. All right, minor pause. One of the best games ever. And when they finally release the PC version, which is coming, it will be played on this channel. Just as a heads up.
March 3rd.
Yeah, it's coming real soon. So I'm very excited for that. And the TV show so far is pretty freaking good too. So anyway.
Arguably better.
Than the game?
Yeah.
It's a bold statement.
Arguably
we can fight about that in general chat in Discord.
To be fair, you started it, DM.
I did start it. I really want to hash it out because there's a lot of good things about each, and there's a lot of things that I go, about each so far. But I'm excited. However, there are no suburbs 10 miles out of Boston. Just saying. Lichen on the walls is looking less and less licheny, and more, slime moldy, fungal in nature.
Sidebar. I'm sad. Another sidebar. I'm upset. The first time I read it, I pronounced it Lichen, because it's CH. How else you can pronounce it?
Yeah.
But now that it's pronounced Lichen, every time I hear you, when I heard you say the lichen on the wall, I thought we were facing a lycanthrope, and
just clings the wall.
So it's just like sticking there. I was like, no, thank you. No, thank you.
Kate Beckinsale's going to show up with dual, rapid fire machine guns.
Now hold on. If we are going to be introducing Kate Beckinsale, I think we need to prepare a little bit more gameplay mechanics. I roll to woo.
Roll to woo.
I'm sorry, you're a bard with high charisma. Where do you think these things go?
Roll to seduce is a
I'm not
hard
saying
thing,
that I
man.
picked a bard because there was the chance that Kate Beckinsale would enter this this campaign, but
you're not going to say that you
don't
didn't
give
do
up
that.
hope, because we don't know that it's not a lycanthrope at this point.
Cave lycanthrope.
Yeah.
You know what, Stuart? This is not Renningham rolling. This is Stuart rolling. roll me 3d10.
Oh no!
Roll me a d1000.
Why 3d10?
Yeah,
there's a 1 in 1,000 chance of an actual.
There is a 1 in 1,000 chance
I got a 4, 1, and a 7. What does that mean?
Okay. I'm not going to tell you what it means. I'm just going to tell you that you rolled, and if things happen, they happen.
Wow. That's
I
nice.
expect a call from Kate Beckinsale soon.
You're telling me there's a chance.
I don't think that's in our budget.
Yeah, I'll see if I can make some phone
Cameo's like,
calls.
what, $200?
Gosh, is it really cheaper
is
to
she on
get
Fiverr?
a cameo? Say, is it
What's
cheaper
wrong
to get a
with
cameo from
cameos?
Kate Beckinsale than to get like an episode of the podcast?
I don't
Maybe.
know. I don't know. Could be. You know, it'd be like
Gosh,
that
that could
guy
be
that,
really funny.
that quit his job via cameo. That was like $200.
Kate Beckinsale chiming in with roll for initiative.
Is that, so I had a good roll, is what you're saying?
No, I'm
Maybe.
saying that you're giving me really, really dumb ideas that could be really, really entertaining. It just requires money. For a 15-minute cameo of Kate Beckinsale to come in and just roll some dice.
No. You know the website Cameo
15
where
minutes?
people will do like the 30-second FaceTimes?
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, that's what I was referencing.
I know, so that's what I'm thinking. Like, could you imagine, like, she comes in, and I would have to obviously schedule some of this in advance and be like, have her roll a couple of dice, just be like, show up, just like, literally just gun past the party, literally guns blazing, runs around the side,
Ooh, that would be insanely expensive because that's billed out in 30-second increments.
Yeah. Anyway, this is quite the rabbit trail. Did not expect to go down.
So the Atrium.
Sorry. With the Lichen.
Yes, there are lots of Lichen. And as you continue, you begin to realize that now each step no longer generates a visible pulse on the walls as the light begins to stay more consistently. And it's slightly brighter, but the hue has begun to change, and it's not as yellow. It's a little bit orangey. And the smell is like there's a wetness to the smell. And it's not as earthy, and the pungent, fresh rot smell becomes a bit more prominent. And the tendrils that are glowing become thicker, and there are fewer of them. And so the light, while still there, is now more like emergency lighting, kind of in like strips going along the walls. What was a thin blanket and slowly turned into, like 1/4 inch thick to 1/2 inch thick sections of mold are now solid inch and a half, but there's way fewer of them. And the glow is still consistent, but there's less surface area generating. And despite the smell in the air, the walls and ground still appear to be fairly, appear to be the same dry, silty material on the ground, and then the walls don't appear to have any sort of tackiness or moisture on them.
Things are changing.
As Penn begins to experience hiccups from all the mushrooms they've been eating.
That's fine. Just add some ambiance to the travels.
Well, now are they hallucinogenic hiccups? Are they real?
I don't know, Penn. Are they real? Are they real hiccups?
Pretty sure tieflings can hiccup.
Okay.
They
Just
can.
checking.
Tieflings can totally hiccup.
Yeah, they're not chickens, so they don't have to worry about that. Okay.
Or are
so
they?
I need to know your marching order. I do.
Penn's at the back, I think.
Penn consistently stands in the back, so that checks out. Klor we knew was up front.
I'm just somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, I'm following Klor. I'm behind Klor.
Then I guess I'm in position 3.
All right.
Can I the best way to say this, keep an eye out as we slow down a little bit as we get closer and closer to the end of this hallway, or what seems to be coming to an end, I guess, and keep an eye out for something that might be causing this change.
Roll me a perception check.
I don't know why I'm leading, but another 17.
Okay. As you slowly make your way around, while the ground beneath your feet doesn't have any sort of dampness to it, you're realizing that it's also becoming less. The siltiness is still there, but the ground doesn't feel as soft. Where there kind of had like a very light sponginess to the ground as you were in the grotto and earlier on in the hallway. This feels a bit denser, despite the thin layer on top. and the tendrils that were glowing along the walls have been slowly going more, and the ones along the ceiling have been getting thicker. And the lighting has been dimming gradually. Luckily, you have dark vision, but the lighting has been dimming gradually as you've continued this climb. Before slowly around the bend, you see what appears to be an opening, and the tendrils that are remaining along the walls and along the ceiling kind of sort of disappear.
What can I see past the opening where they disappear into, like, straight ahead?
Past the opening, you can see that on the ground, the silty material that covers the floor only goes out probably another 15 or so feet before it begins to really thin out, and you can see what is rough carved, but sections of it appear to be a little bit more intentionally smoothed out than others. It seems to be that this is an intentionally smoothed out, open, flat area. Further off, towards the edge of where your dark vision is most useful, you can kind of make out where there are some stone structure that appears to be kind of like sticking slightly up out of the ground, but the ceiling is out of your sight from here. You cannot see the ceiling.
Is there any movement?
From where you currently stand, no. You would have to get closer to the actual entrance of this room.
I will do that. I will go right up to the edge of the entrance and keep walking unless I see movement, in which case I will stop.
Okay. You're going to walk towards the entrance until you see any sort of movement.
Yeah, if there's no sounds and no smells, and it's just kind of dark. I'm just walking forward. I have no reason to think that it's unsafe to walk where we're walking. It's just empty rooms, right?
So what are the last of Bob and Penn? Are you guys tight on their tails, or are you kind of hanging back as they?
I mean, I think we're keeping pace with them.
Yeah, you're just kind of keeping up. You're like, all right, let's see where this goes. Kind of along for the ride.
All right. As you step through, or step towards the edge, Klor, peering into the room, you feel a distinct change in the texture of the soil. This is a lot rougher. There's an increased coarseness almost immediately as you approach the entranceway. What was very silty seems to be almost some of the brushed runoff from all of the carving that has gone on in here. You can make out sections that they appear to have carved tiles, like beginnings of a decorative like tile into the ground. You can see that the walls are already hewn smooth, and that this is a giant round area, and you cannot from this side see the other side. In fact, the only way you kind of can tell that it's round is that there's a curve to the wall as you look to the right, and a curve to the wall as you look to the left, with either kind of materials around it and roughly hewn portcullis style embossments, really partially dug into the walls, or the one off to the left actually appears to go in enough that it generates, a shadow is the wrong word with dark vision, but there's a darkness to it, there's depth to it. The other thing that stands out is on this face of the wall, the one that's basically behind you / above you, the orange tendrils of whatever this thing is bend upwards and kind of, it's been fungus-like, but it's not anything like you've ever seen. So continue upwards along the wall and kind of connect together. And you look at the map, and you look at the tunnel, and you look at where this goes, and you know where you experienced your things. And you get the sense that you're not, even if you're above it, you're not far from where the locus of your experiences were either.
Now, did you say locus or locust?
Locus,
oh,
like
okay.
Locus.
Bring in the bugs of your experience.
If I
You already killed all the bugs.
Would I be able to gain a general direction? Like if I'm looking at the map, and you said I'm kind of familiar with, I know that I might not be far from where that was. Can I get a general sense of direction? Like if I turn in a direction, I'm like, okay, so it's in that direction of where those things happened.
Looking at the map, using your best judgment of how many cycles you kind of have walked up before you hit whatever this place is, your experiences would be somewhere off towards the left. If your scope of these sorts of things is right, it would be off towards the left somewhere.
I'm gonna go ahead and walk through the archway and walk kind of toward the middle.
Okay.
Slowly. but I want to look as I'm walking to the left and the right, but mainly to the left, and see if there is another path to go. You know what I mean? If there's another opening in that direction along the wall.
You had seen one before, and as you slowly make your way into the room, roll me a perception check.
While he's rolling that, is it completely flat, or is it still kind of tilted upwards?
18.
It's flat. As you enter this area, it's flat. 18. You slowly make your way in, and as you focus kind of over there, the tunnel that you saw off to your left appears to stop only about 15 or 20 feet in. However, there's one not far from it that has more depth that goes beyond, as you enter the middle of the room, goes beyond the extent of your vision.
I'll relate to the party how I saw. I'll give the map actually to who had it last. Rinningham was the last person that I showed the map to, right? Who's directly behind me?
It was Rinningham.
I'll just turn around and hand the map to Rinningham and say, almost point like that you are here. These things are over here that I was telling you about. There's some weird stuff going on in this room that leads to the main room here, with all the stuff that I couldn't read, because we talked about that last time.
Yep.
So then I'll just point to the two hallways you showed or you talked about, and say it's one of those two is that way. So I'm gonna guess the way out is the opposite.
Was the room with all the controls, was it a dead end, or did you pass through it?
I passed through the room to get to the room with all the control room. And there was some body parts that were not attached to things, but moving, like they were alive. And I went through that room to get to the control room. There were doors in the control room, and I don't know if they went to like individual storage rooms or if they went to another hallway. I don't know. I couldn't open them, and I couldn't read. And then so I turned around and went the other way, trying to find you guys. But there was some weird looking stuff that I couldn't kind of make out what it was, due to my poor intellect or bad rolls. And so if you guys want to check it out,
fourth wall, chip.
But if you guys want to check it out, we can. But it's just going to lead us back to where we were. I don't really know.
I'm more interested in this control room. Take me to the control room.
Take me up inside.
All right, let's walk over there and see if we can discern which
Klor,
hallway.
you are well aware that the control room, the way that you accessed it, is quite a ways away. If you are near it, you are very above it right now.
We went
more
up,
about the proximity.
We went up that far.
Yeah.
Now, is there a hole in the wall?
You looking for a cheap bar?
Specifically where the boys can see it all.
What kind of bar is this?
Specifically like the one that the body parts might have been jumping through, but
we got body parts jumping through holes.
Okay.
Interesting. It's near a place in France, isn't it?
Or the what?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I was wondering if that's where you were going. Okay. In Solitary, suddenly a French accent as the party decides to explore their room.
Dude, freaking wee baguette, you know what I'm saying? Something about them, some cigarette and wee.
Problem, as you look around, Klor, is that even the orange tendril just kind of like continues upwards. And it is a faint glow along what you expect to be the ceiling. It kind of trunks together into being a single faint orange thing that kind of disappears up towards the center. And the way that it goes kind of suggests that the whole thing is like cylindrical with a dome top.
Hate that. I want to.
You also can make out what appears to be a faint line of a balcony that may or may not go the whole length. It doesn't appear to be finished.
Nothing down here is finished.
Were these tendrils, I forgot if you said that, were they emanating light at all, or it's just the color of them is slightly orange?
They were glowing in the hallway. It's kind of what we're using to guide, but it's no longer bright enough to really be of any value in the context of this space.
And the tendrils are, you said they're attached to the wall?
It's attached to the wall, and in this case it has trunked together and is now just one. And it doesn't even do like a straight shot. It kind of meanders, like you would expect, a fungally type kind of.
Sure. Am I able to reach one of these tendrils?
Let's see.
You can reach the ones that are still in the hallway, on the wall in the hallway, but not because they kind of come together at the roof of this and then go up. Of the roof of the hallway and then go up along the wall towards the roof of the atrium.
Are there any? Well, no, the ground doesn't have anything loose on it.
Are there any markings anywhere? Now that we're in here.
Now that you are in here, let's do some investigation checks for things and stuff.
Would anybody like to help me look?
I do.
I want to take that rock that I still have, the one that has been inside me, and I want to try and throw it at the tendrils on the wall to kind of get a reaction to see if they do still pulse in here. The ones that are like higher up, kind of.
Yeah.
I'm throwing pennies at a window,
Yeah, no, you're going to take your rock that's been inside you to do that, or are you just going to, look around for other pebbles to do that?
Well, I would prefer to look around, but I assumed that it was like that soft, mushy kind of ground here.
No, now that you're inside the atrium, it has the soft, silty material only went 15-ish feet into there before it turned into the rough rock or the hewn rock.
Hewn stone. Oh well, then
I'm
keeping my rock. I'm getting other less important rocks.
Okay, so let's do the investigation checks first.
30-20.
30-20. Penn got an 18.
Nice.
Renningham is going to do his rock stuff, so we'll skip that. And Bob, it's up to you if you want to investigate too. We go around.
I see
now,
nothing.
Bob, you're familiar with nature things. What are all these tendrils about?
This is an abomination of nature. It's a hole in the ground. I would fill it if I had the power.
You have no idea what it is, do you?
Not a clue.
Penn and Klor, as you kind of make your way slowly around the room, are you guys working directly together on it, or are you guys kind of doing your own kind of scoping out the place?
Penn's gonna follow Klor, but at an awkwardly not far away enough and not close enough distance, because there's this speck, just a speck, that first star you see in the sky at night, kind of speck of concern that Penn has towards Klor losing his friend recently.
Aww.
Klor's going to feel about his business incredibly uncomfortably.
What does Penn feel about Renningham?
I don't know.
Your stunned silence is very reassuring.
Penn is basically following up about 20, 25 feet, just enough to kind of get a good read on, or keep a decent read on what Klor's expressions are when Penn can get them. But otherwise, keep scoping out and seeing what's going on. And Klor, you notice it first, is that in not necessarily the first kind of alcove, kind of slightly carved in on the right-hand side is from the hallway you came in at, but the next one over, which there appears to be 5 entrances as you kind of make your way around the room. There appears to be 5 kind of tunnels that come into this space. It's not the most rightmost one, it's the second rightmost one. While it also isn't deeply carved in, there appears to be boxes and collections of materials not terribly dissimilar to what you had found, a few days ago.
A day ago.
For him, it was
go through that.
A little longer than that. So Penn, you happen to be, watching Klor, and it's as soon as Klor kind of stops to look at something, you're able to oh, hey, yeah, that's a thing. And you find a collection of boxes and kind of strewn about materials. They don't necessarily look haphazard in a sense of being left in a rush. More just kind of they're things that were just kind of left there, partway done, work was being done.
We'll be back later, but then didn't come back.
Kind of, sort of, yeah.
Ransack it for anything?
Yeah, what can we find? Maybe another map, because last time I found something like this, there's a map. So let's go through it again and see if we can't find something of value or use.
What can I find?
So, most of what you find...
tool that'll help us later.
Most of what you find are... there's lots of chisels, several of which appear to be some very fine, finely machined. The steel, as you kind of take them out of their sheaths and stuff, is still pretty shiny, and the edges are nice and sharp. You can see several of them are kind of, the sheaths aren't like clasped, keep them in place. They're just kind of like along the walls, where you can see they had kind of started creating grooves in the walls and in the floor to create that tile effect. There's pickaxes, sledgehammers, that sort of general equipment to kind of keep mining and carving this place out. The paperwork that is found is really more material lists. How many inches or feet of digging have been carved through at each of the spots.
Interesting. It's not in the metric system.
I mean, they're 5-foot squares, so yeah, they're not European engineers for sure.
1.5 meters.
Are they like orc feet?
2/3 of a meter.
Goblin feet?
From what you can tell, they appear to be dwarven feet in nature, although there's a couple of footprints that do appear to be reptilian kind of shaped, where it's got the multiple toes in front.
They look like me.
No, they're Sleestack.
I would also assume that Pen is just hovering over my shoulder right now.
At this point. I don't walk close enough.
As you kind of go through things, unfortunately, you do not find another map. So now we're going to move to Renningham real quick. Renningham, you were checking rocks. Do you do them one at a time? Do you kind of take a couple and do a bit of a scatter shot? What do you?
I'm starting with one to see if I can actually hit it. I mean, I've just
roll.
I've thrown rocks before.
Roll to attack.
No, just okay. I guess I don't know. I don't even know.
Roll to hit, not that damage. Roll.
Dexterity probably.
So yeah, it's your proficiency bonus plus. Well, actually, it'd be just a
straight proficiency bonus add.
No, well, actually, it would be the other way around. It would be your dex mod, not your proficiency bonus.
Oh, well then 16.
Okay. Because you are not proficient with improvised rocks. Which is what made the other rock throw you did most recently in life so profound, was that it was just like writ.
I killed a man.
Did? Really?
You didn't die, to your knowledge.
Just knocked him out. He was bleeding. We had to escort him to the inn.
And he wasn't happy about it.
It could have come from anywhere. Rocks just fall from the skies around here.
Oh yeah, absolutely, all the time.
You're deep in a mine. Totally makes sense. They
call it a mine.
A mine. So,
16.
You chuck the rock, and as it clinks into the stone besides the tendril, you kind of see it pulse for a fraction of a second. It's just kind of like...
It doesn't like... What do I notice any of the other tendrils do anything?
No, because the one that you're kind of throwing at is like the root one that kind of goes all the way up. Unless you want to aim closer to like where they're branching out.
Nah, I mean just hitting the central stalk works pretty well. Can I eat prestidigitation to create sparks, kind of like up? Because you said it's like a dome.
Yes.
And we can't.
So it's like a cylinder. Imagine a cylinder with a dome top, and the only thing you can tell that makes the dome is the fact that the glowing tendril just kind of goes up.
So yeah, prestidigitation in the cone or in the cylinder.
All right, so you're casting that up towards the. Okay.
Yeah, just kind of see if I can create a flash. Bit of sparks.
Okay. So as you, all of those with dark vision are quickly, made aware of a very bright light behind them, like a flashbang went off in the distance, not far from them.
Good.
Yeah.
Not enough to blind you, but definitely enough to be noticeable as you.
Like when someone takes a picture in a room and there's a flash, you're like, oh.
Or when the FBI stops by to visit.
Yeah, just for fun.
There's a few seconds of sparkle up in the air. Yeah, when the FBI shows up just for a visit, and then all you ever see is the bright flashes.
I mean, they're just trying to, greet you in the traditional FBI way. Just like yellow is the color of hello for mushrooms, a flashbang is the color of hello for the FBI.
That's how my people say hello.
Yes. So, as you splash your sparks against the ceiling, the entire tendril close by begins to pulse red for a moment before it returns to its orange, but it doesn't return to the soft color. The other thing is that you can see that the surface is carved mostly smooth. However, you can see dark evidence, dark, kind of dried out, not terribly dissimilar to the lichen, kind of like tendrils that are spread across other parts of the atrium. It doesn't spread as far, however, it is out there where you can see them kind of fractaling out. The other thing that stands out is that at the very top of the atrium is a hole that seems to be plugged by just kind of pieces of this fungal matter, where out the center comes the tendril that's going along the walls.
That's ew. I don't. What is this tendril doing? Anyone else see it got mad?
Maybe you were throwing stuff at it.
I was just seeing if it was awake.
You
All the
couldn't
other
ask
stuff was
it nicely?
pulsing.
You had to attack it?
I wasn't an attack.
Why don't you ask the druid to talk to it?
He said it was an abomination.
He said he didn't know what it was.
He said he didn't know what the hole was.
How high? No.
Let's find out. You look at first.
Don't even think about it. How high is the unfinished balcony off the ground?
How high is the unfinished balcony off the ground? It's about 30 feet.
Is there a way up to it?
Oh, is there a way up? Not directly. There are some ladders. They are old. They appear to be wooden in construction.
I'll grab a ladder and go up the ladder. One that looks tall enough to reach.
To get to the balcony.
Roll me a strength check as you try to manhandle a 30-foot ladder up a wall on your own.
It's a really tall ladder.
That is a natural 11 minus 1 for my strength, so a 10.
So you guys watch as Klor, after seeing the sparkle, kind of just walks away and towards one of the other walls. Just kind of you hear it. Those who don't have dark vision hear it first, and you can kind of see as he picks up one side of a ladder and kind of like begins to twist it, and you can see it like the end of it, 20 something feet out from where he's holding it, just kind of like spins in the against the rock and scrapes, and you can now hear all of it, just like this wood on rock, as he tries to position it and get it up against the wall, and then as he tries to.
No, I got it, guys. Please, I got it.
Pick it up. And
you've got it. You got to find the middle. You got to find the balance point. You got to find the balance point, and then you lean it up against the wall and tip it. And with my expert tips on how to handle something much larger than yourself, something which I have a lot of experience in because I'm rather small, I'm gonna give him some bark inspiration.
All right,
you got it, Klor. You just lift it. It doesn't even look that heavy.
Klor, roll another strength check with bardic inspirations. That's an extra D4, I believe, at this level.
6.
D6. Okay, so you get an extra D6. You get to add.
But roll a D6 and then add that.
No, I will, but I rolled a 7, so I
roll 6 this time.
Oh, which I got.
Hey.
So that's a 13, which is better.
Well, you said 7 minus 1 because it's strength.
No, I rolled an 8
plus
minus
6.
1. It was a total of 7.
Okay. You watch as Klor gets under the one side and wedges it kind of best he can against the wall, and then holds the rungs and goes down a couple of feet, and then pushes it up, and it tries to slide it a couple more steps and just slowly inches the ladder up the wall. Anyone want to help him make it go faster? Or is he just...
And I walk over there and I push from the bottom. Like I push from underneath.
You have a strength check.
2 feet tall.
3.
But if you add both
that's
of
what
ours
happens
together,
when you can only get your fingertips on it.
Yeah. My strength modifier is -2.
Why do we have to do people doing this right now?
Klor, you watch as... Actually, I don't even know. Redingham, you're kind of following the sound to even get here, and you kind of like are nudging into the bottom of it, and you're just kind of like, you feel it moving as Klor's doing his thing, and you're just kind of like kicking it lightly with your foot, trying to like help it along. So Klor, you're just like, oh, okay. As you slowly continue to move, it's mostly the weight. It's just cumbersome and awkward, and mass takes you a lot longer than it should have. If you're used to a ladder, a normal ladder height, it takes you a lot longer than it should have to. But you finally get this ladder up to a point where you can't really pitch it much further yourself. And you take a step back and look and see that at its current angle and everything, you get about 20 feet up the wall.
May I jump in for a second?
I wish you would, Bob.
Okay. First things first. I've just been busy spectating and enjoying the show, just kind of standing back. In reference to Penn's suggestion to get the druid to speak with the said animal, I would like to do a knowledge nature check to determine whether this is a plant or an animal, and therefore whether or not communication is possible. So let's roll some dice.
Okay.
And that's a 21. Is this a plant or an animal? And as a druid, I think I would know whether or not I could speak to it.
As a druid, you are aware that fungi appear to be their own sort of thing. They're not really plants, they're not really animals. You are aware of some that have expressed a level of awareness that you would say is more so than any plant you've ever interacted with. Roll me some percentile dice.
Okay, look. 34.
Okay. While you personally have never interacted with them, you have heard, whether or not you believe in such things is up to you, but you have heard of mushroom people.
Okay.
Who, reside in the deeper, darker places of the world. So it's theoretically possible to communicate with it.
Okay. All right, next thing. Since I've been busy spectating the Keystone Cops in action, this balcony, can I get a little bit more information on it? Because I kind of missed that. Why are we trying to get up there?
Well, I was curious.
Oh, okay.
So there's a rim that goes most of the way around that appears to be deeper in some areas, like a balcony, carved in about 30 feet up.
And to get a better view and gauge of the situation.
Okay.
And then about 45 feet total from the ground is when the dome starts to kind of dome.
Okay. All right. Now, at this point, I would like to turn to Penn. It's like, I think I can actually talk to these mushroom people. What do you think we should ask them?
Are they having a nice day?
Hey, we could do that. All right. Let's do a little spell casting. That's speak with animals, and see if I can establish communication with a mushroom. Yeah, we got 10 minutes of talking with animals.
All right. So with your 10 minutes of talking with animals, what do you reach out and try to talk to the mushroom about?
So, hey guys, what's up? You having a good day?
Check one, check two. Hey, how you guys doing tonight?
Pretty much. Excuse me, you guys are flying awful close to Hawaii. Pearl Harbor's over here. What are you guys up to?
Breaker 19. What are we doing?
Or starts climbing the ladder. Getting away from this situation that is gonna happen.
Okay, apparently we are aware of World War II, and okay, all right. Roll me a charisma.
That was out of game, Give me some rabbit ears. Sorry.
I'm gonna say Bob and Redingham, being the ones closest to the orange tendril that is attempting to be communicated with. I need each of you to roll charisma saving throws.
Uh-oh. Ooh, somebody has advantage on charisma saving throws.
Wait, each of us?
No, just the two of them.
Oh. That would be a 21.
Okay, and Bob?
Just a 20. I'm sorry, I suck.
So, the both of you feel, for Renningham, it's a lot more familiar. In fact, it's eerily familiar for Renningham. For Bob, it's less so. You feel intense pressure in your head for a moment. Without really it being direct thoughts, you get feelings in response. And the feelings are...
Feelings. Miriam.
It's like you get the feeling of tired, of work, of struggle.
Are you describing the fungal thing, or is this?
Yes, these are the feelings that the fungal thing is experiencing, and is conveying in response to the question you get. Yeah, it's struggle, frustration,
like a big fungal
tired.
Sigh.
Basically, just like.
Look, I would have scheduled an appointment with my therapist, but she had no openings for the next 3 weeks. I am trying my best here, man.
Bob, what are they saying? What is it saying?
It's not using words. It's communicating with feelings. It's kind of more of an emotional response than a linguistic one.
Is it happy?
No, it's exhausted. I'm getting a kind of a I would interpret it sort of as almost like a indentured servitude type thing, but that may be going too far. Just more of a God, I'm just exhausted. I'm tired of this.
Does it need help getting rid of something?
Good question. Let's present that question to our mushroom buddy. Are you in need of assistance? Are you sending out an SOS?
I'm sending out an SOS.
Man, this is going good. I was deliberately leading into that.
I'm so glad.
A glass bottle drops out of the hole in the ceiling.
Roll me some percentile dice.
A message in a bottle, baby.
It hits me in the head.
By a werewolf.
Who's wearing like a male cap and he has a bag and he's like, it's somewhere in here. Hold on. They just told me.
So the both of you again get it's a feeling, and the frustration kind of rises. The pressure of that emotion is just you can hear the but it's not an angry or hurt. It's just a frustration. Not akin to when you experience like, oh, this just isn't working the way I want it to, or why is this taking so long? You know, that sort of frustration. Followed by it's another emotion, and it's just kind of a mix of, it's not a true yes. It's not a true, it's like, yeah, it's like hope. It's kind of like, not dissimilar to like, that's not something I've thought of, but you know, it's you get the kind of feeling, like that emotion that happens when you have that moment in your head. Usually you use words to articulate it, but that feeling. So it's lots of frustration followed by that feeling.
Okay, so
ask it if it can show us where to help. Can it lead us somewhere?
I feel your pain. Thank you. Got the thumb in there too, because the thumb's important.
You did.
Commit.
Now let me be clear. I understand that you are feeling tired, but we will.
Well, now that's
turn it around.
That's like that's too later. I was going back to like the 90s, or at least trying to.
So, do you realize that in the 90s we were like at most 10 years old, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Jim. I'm sorry. We don't know that version.
I'm sorry.
My thought was like, in the 90s, I think the biggest thing that I remember is like election season, watching the news with my parents. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the only connection to politics that I had then.
Yeah. That was the I feel your pain, except that you have to say it like Bill Clinton, who I can't do right now because I have my throat's acting up.
I feel your pain.
Thank you.
There we go. That's
There
a
it
good
is.
one.
Yeah,
Good
there's a
job.
certain hollowness
There
to
it
the low
is.
end that you got to get. Yeah. All right, so.
Or he pulls out a saxophone and just starts,
I like it. So in communicating with our newfound mushroom buddy, I use that term loosely. Is there any way you can show us where you need assistance? Is there anything that can be done to alleviate this suffering that you're conveying?
The sensation, the emotion you get in your head is in the same intensity as the frustration was, except it is more of an anguish that comes in. And there's a bit of an affirmative feeling of just like, oh, anguish, suffering, yes, that sort of, And then you watch as a pulse starts up at the top and just kind of goes down, and then it kind of slows down about halfway down the atrium wall, and you can see where some of the dark tendrils had been, and it kind of begins to reconstitute some of the dark tendrils, and you can see them begin to kind of ripple and grow across the wall, and some of the glow kind of fades from the main trunk and begins to kind of spread along. And as it does, some of them kind of curl into what appears to be a hole in the ceiling, or it is not the same shape as the hole that you saw in the floor at the section of the tunnel that you were in. It's not the same shape.
Whoa, what are you guys doing? What? Are you pissing it off?
No, we're good. So in looking at this hole in the ceiling, how far up is it?
It appears to be in part of the curvature of the ceiling, so it's at least 55, 60, almost 60 feet up.
Okay, so I turn to Penn and convey the condensed version of everything that we've just heard to let Penn know that this seems to be the direction that the fungal or mushroom friend is indicating as a source of suffering, and I think I ought to go check that out and see what Penn's response is.
Hopefully we won't get in trouble.
Did you say truffle? We won't be in trouble?
I mean, we're already in the mushroom.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's see. I think I'm going to go ahead and go take a look at this hole in the ceiling real quick, just to see what's going on up there. So.
Someone's got to be the fun guy about this.
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and enact a little bit of that old radiant soul action and kick out some fairy wings and do a little flying.
Hopefully it doesn't feel like you're stalking it.
Maybe it will, maybe it won't. I don't know.
These puns are really growing on me.
We can make a fun guy with all these mushrooms.
Hey, I am a fun guy.
I've been trying to figure out how to work spore into this, and it's just not.
Hopefully the mushroom won't leave us spored.
So off to the side.
Thank you so much.
Don't worry, Penn has really good morals.
So, yeah. So very briefly, Penn, did you hear the one about the mushroom that went into the bar?
Nope.
Goes into the bar, bartender says, "Get the hell out, we don't serve your kind here." Mushroom leaves and goes down to another bar, walks in, bartender looks at him and says, "You, get the hell out, we don't serve your kind here." Mushroom's getting a little dejected, goes down to a third bar, walks in. The bartender walks over and goes, "Hey, get out, we don't serve your kind." At which point the mushroom, who's frustrated at this point, looks at the bartender and goes, "What's the deal? I'm a fun guy."
Beautiful.
You should have put a cap in it.
The yeast they could do was hand him a beer. Just let him have it,
The yeast they could do. Okay.
Okay, so anyway, we're kicking out some wings and doing a little flight here. Our flying speed is 30 feet, so it'll take me, 2 rounds to get up there?
Yeah. So you guys watch as Bob kind of sprouts little poof fairy wings and shrinks down and...
No, we don't shrink down.
Oh, that's right. You don't have to shrink. That's right. You can just do your Yes, you have your fairy wings, and you
we had two choices of wings, and I chose to go with the dainty ones.
That is true. You went with the dainty fairy wings.
Yep.
I'm glad he's old enough to fly. Okay, that's the last one, I swear.
Oh, I don't know. No, don't make it the last one. No.
Penicillin? I don't know. That's the closest I got.
Okay.
You know what? Okay.
So anyway, Bob, you fly up and along the ceiling, following the glowing mark, and see kind of where the things had spread out. And as you're approaching, you can actually see the tendrils that kind of went in the wrong direction of the hole begin to kind of recede and die off again and darken as the ones around the hole kind of continue to spread and grow just a little bit brighter. And as you approach, you can see that the hole is just large enough for a medium-sized creature to kind of start pulling their way through. And I need you to make a dexterity saving throw?
Was that a question?
I wanted to say, yeah, let's see. Yes, dexterity saving throw.
Okay. That's an 11.
So, you are suddenly grappled. You are suddenly grappled as a dark, black, brownish, color's kind of hard to see at this lighting anyway, tendril of something shoot out from this hole and stick directly to you and begin to kind of coil itself around you as a maw begins to kind of peek its head out, and it's a different color, different skin texture, different everything from, you know, the surface of the fungus as this maw begins to open, and you can see that the tendril is slowly pulling you towards it.
Cool.
And we are going to stop there for a 15-minute break, and we will pick up here with some initiative rolling.
Cool.
So those of you who are hanging out here, we're gonna go get ourselves some snacks and replenishments of waters and stuff, and you guys do the same, and then we will be back for whatever happens next.
Bum, bum, bum.
See you guys in a few minutes.
Welcome back, viewers.
And we're back. And welcome to tonight's episode of Delicious Dish. Bob, how does it feel to know that you are possibly about to be a delicious dish?
I dare say that our DM has not met my character. That's not the way it works around here. I am not food. I am not tasty. I am very vinegary. Nobody wants to eat me.
With enough determination, most anything could turn anyone into food.
No! I don't taste good. I'm like Charlie the tuna. I don't taste good, I have good taste.
I need all of you to roll an initiative check.
Hold a 9.
We are waiting on Klor.
Oh
Okay,
my
there we
god.
Let it be known, I only rolled in D&D Beyond because I figured it might help you with initiative tracking.
I can enter it manually if I had to, so...
Well, is it too late to roll manually?
It is. I've already started.
Worth a shot. Always worth a shot.
I know it. Hopefully I don't have to bounce again.
So...
Not as painful.
Bob.
Yes.
You unfortunately have the wonderful experience of your wings are kind of strapped to your back as you're being pulled closer to this maw that's kind of, you can see that the tendril that's holding onto you is in the center of this wide open, 4-piece toothed maw. Think, like the Demogorgon from Stranger Things. But as it pulls you closer, it begins to snap at you kind of hungrily, and let's see.
Hungry vines.
Am I officially grappled?
They grab whatever is close
So,
and intertwine.
Yes. The short answer
Okay.
is yes, because you failed the initial save that starts this whole process off. On your turn, you can start to do the escapes and all that jazz. Okay, so it is a 22 to hit.
Oh, to hit me?
Yes, to hit you.
Oh my goodness!
I was like, you can't just tell us what it takes to hit it.
No. No, it's a 20 because as the mouth was starting to. So it's a 22 to hit, and so you take 7 points of slashing damage as it starts to clap at your face and body with its mouth hungrily as you're being pulled up into it.
Oh, I'm gonna have to kill this thing. Okay.
You make it sound so simple.
Oh, I have
away?
surprises.
So from you, Renningham, this you had watched as Bob just kind of flittered up towards the hole in the ceiling. So it's about 60 feet above the ground.
Okay.
Ken, you are further away, as you were not as close to the source of all of this. You just kind of were watching from afar with Klor. So line of sight would put it at closer to like 80, 85 feet. But it is your turn, Pen.
Cast the magic missile. Magic missile.
Are you casting it at the maw, at the face?
Yeah.
Okay. Roll some damage.
4.
Magic missile gets you 3 missiles, so roll 2 more.
And 5 and 4.
All right. So you watch as Pen just blasts off, and you see 3 bolts of green energy just kind of like, and then zero in on the chomping face, dealing a total of 13 points of damage. Do you do anything else? Do you move, or are you just kind of?
I'm gonna keep my distance.
Okay. Real quick, Bob, did we ever? Are you really at 16 hit points even after the level up?
Yes.
Okay. I just needed to double check.
Yep.
Wish he could.
I was gonna say, when the wizard has the highest hit points in the party.
I do.
Yeah, I did not roll good.
Followed closely by Klor, but Pen, you have the most hit points in the party.
Oh jeez, I'm sorry, guys.
No, I'll double check it, but I'm pretty sure that's correct and current. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Oh man! Oh, this is great.
All right. So, Bob, it is now your turn.
All right. I assume that being grappled, I am embraced to the point to where spell casting is impeded.
So, casting during a grapple, Sam, correct me if I'm wrong here, but doesn't it just grant you disadvantage on the aiming, or does it prevent you from casting with somatic components entirely?
So, the only spells that you can cast when you are grappled are those without somatic components, and whose material components you have in hand already. So if you need materials to cast a spell, you need to have them, like, in your hand, and it can't be one where you have to make some sort of grand gesture. So verbal-only spells, that's perfectly fine.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. So, in that case, that means that I am not in a spell casting capability. However, I do not like being bound. I don't like being grappled, so we're going to have to do something about that. In fact, I think here's what we're going to do. We are going to wild shape into a tiny, tiny little bat and fly away.
So you're going to poof into a bat, which is smaller. Okay, yeah. I am still going to need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Alrighty.
Because the thing that has wrecked to you is sticky.
That's an 18.
Okay, that succeeds. You are able to, as you start to shrink down into bat form, you can kind of feel some of the bat fur kind of get pulled off a little bit in smarts, but don't take any damage as you into a little furry bat, and the tendril that was attached to you immediately just sucks back in.
Okay,
and the
now
maw just kind of like curls and ripples at the edges, like its lips are growling at you.
Okay, now in establishing my flight path away from here's a question. With this hole, is it just like, we've got like the dome shape, and then we've got the hole, and then the maw that's living inside of here? Is there any place close where I could like fly to and then stand on, or use as a place where I can hang out and look into this hole from close range, or reasonably close range?
The only thing that you can see that would be possibly grippable would be to touch and hold on to the orange fungal kind of growth along the wall.
Okay, so that would not be suitable for me to go over there, then transform back into my natural form and expect to like stand there. So
correct. The next closest place would be to go to some of the partially carved out balcony sections. But you're now definitely significantly further away. If you want to look into the hole, your vision's pretty impeded. You can see the hole is there, but you wouldn't be able to
My goal
investigate
is
it.
my goal is spell casting into the hole. Is there a point that looks like, hey, that's where I can go?
Yes, there are several spots that are within range, just kind of along the.
Yeah, just pick me one on that balcony, and that's where we're headed.
So you find the closest landing that seems reasonable. The widest section is a 15 by 15-ish square. There are sections that are still rough that you can tell, and that it's really only about 5 feet that are passable easily. The other 10 are they're still really rough hewn, so you'd have some difficult, kind of difficult terrain.
Okay.
But from here you do have direct line of sight.
Awesome. That's where I need to be.
Okay. So Bob, and then it's down. Klor, party has begun.
Yes. So I'm halfway up a ladder right now.
Yes, you are currently halfway up a ladder.
Am I on the opposite side oriented, or am I?
I mean, not complete opposite. If anything, you're kind of on the opposite, say, Bob.
Okay. So if this monster was at 12 o'clock, where am I in this round?
The monster was at 12 o'clock. Bob is at, say, 9 o'clock.
Sure.
You are probably at, between 2 and 3 o'clock.
Okay. Can I continue up the ladder and get on this little balcony so that I...
As you reach the top of the ladder, if you remember, you only got the ladder pitched so you could get about 20 of the feet up the wall. It's not the full length.
And it was 30 feet, so I'm 10 feet short?
Yeah. So if you want, you can continue the walk and then make an acrobatics check at disadvantage to try to... You're not exactly used to, sprinting up ladders and then trying to jump at the top of them as it's precariously leaned against a wall.
Sure. With my 20 feet of height off the ground, how far away am I from this monster? Because I know it's 60 feet in the air, and I'm...
Yeah, I guess 2 o'clock is probably a bit shallow of the pitch in the room, but you're just basically opposite-ish where Bob is. It's probably about 80 feet, direct line of sight.
All right. I'll jump. Athletics check with disadvantage.
Athletics check with disadvantage.
Okay, first one was an 18 minus 1. Let's see if we can keep it up there. We can't. That is the 3.
Roll me a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. 15.
Okay. So, Pen, you being the closest, you can see this the best, as Klor, already halfway up the ladder, kind of begins to double rung it, trying to get, you can see speed is picking up and tries to kick himself up to grab a ledge, and as he does, he's just an inch or two short. He's just right there and slides down the wall again, but the ladder immediately begins to slide as well, not expecting the sudden force, and starts to slide down the wall. And you are able to, Klor, quickly take a couple steps back and kind of lean into where you felt the ladder sag naturally, and it slows down and kind of grips the wall a little bit, and you only lose about 10 feet of the height, so you're still 10 feet off the ground. The ladder's pitched in a weird way.
Do I have any movement left?
Gonna say no.
Okay. Did that jump use up my action?
You had to climb the other half. Well, you're already halfway up the ladder. Climbing isn't full speed, so I'm sorry, Dave.
Cool.
Rittingham, you get to see as Bob got hung-lashed for a second and then turned into a bat, and he's right above you. And what are you doing?
So I'm gonna look up at this hole, and I remember what those feelings of frustration and just anguish. And I look up and I go, "You're never gonna make it out of here. You're stuck in here forever. This is the only place you'll ever be, and you can't even move. You're just a stupid big little tentacly thing, and you freaking suck." And I'm gonna cast Dissonance.
Okay.
And I guess that's just.
He needs to make a save, correct?
Well, I guess wisdom saving throw.
That is a whopping 2.
Okay, so that is a failed save. So it takes 3d6 and use its reaction to move as far as its speed allows away from me. 4,
okay.
7, 8. Thanks. 4, 3, and 1.
So 19. Wait.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I was adding up, sorry.
Okay.
4, 3, and 1.
Okay.
So 8. Okay.
Bob, you being the closest, you kind of can see as the room kind of fills with some of these dissonant sounds, and they kind of echo in that little chamber where the creature is. and you can see it kind of shake its head violently and begin to scoot further back away. And it's now, we're going to give it partial cover as it kind of scoots further into the tunnel. Renningham, you can no longer see it. So Renningham can no longer see it. Do you do any movement, Renningham, or do you just kind of stay where you're at?
I'm just gonna kind of stay where I'm at, but I'm gonna try to. Is Klor fell off the ladder, or he just didn't make it all the way up there?
He just didn't make it all the way up, and the ladder slid.
Oh. I'm gonna try to. Can I? No.
What were you gonna do?
So it's at an angle, but the angle isn't all the way up, but it could reach all the way up. So I'm going to, what I want to do is I want to run at the base of the ladder and try and snap the bottom of it so that it pushes it up and gets the full 30.
Okay, I will
get Klor up onto the...
I'll let you get started on your run as you start moving your way over there, but you're not going to be able to take the action this turn. How's that?
Okay,
all right.
That's fine.
All right, so Bob, you watch as it crawls forward, peeks its head out, does another like lip ripply, growly, kind of angry-looking thing, and as it turns slightly, you can see just a big black beady eye. And I want you to roll me a nature check.
Nature check. That's not so good. I'm not a good druid. 13.
It's enough. You recognize that this creature is something you have definitely heard about as one of the many treacherous things that live in deeper caves. This looks very much like a cave fisher. They like to find crevices to either shoot the short distance that they can or to drop their sticky tendril and just kind of...
The short distance that they can.
Well, no. So it's within 5 feet. So when he got right up on it, tendril. The rest of it is all implied to be it drops it from the ceiling and then pulls it up. So you are now aware of some of the other treacherous things deep within the confines of the caves of which you travel.
Cool.
And I was not going to figure out a way to have it do what I wanted to on the fly, because my brain is just not there for it right this moment.
Cool.
We are now out of initiative.
Alrighty.
So, Bob.
Yes.
You notice it first, but what was once an orange, extension of the fungal mass turned red as soon as the combat began and is still red.
Oh, I think red is a color of anger.
And the growth continues to kind of circle around that hole, and you can kind of see the hole beginning to glow faintly as it appears to grow inside that tunnel. And the creature that was inhabiting said tunnel is no longer in sight.
Did we get it?
So our deep cave fissure has retreated into its hole. Is that what I'm hearing?
Are we out?
What you seem to see?
We're out of initiative.
Yes.
I can't see. I can't see it anymore or anything.
That is correct.
I'm gonna go over. I'm hopping off the ladder. I'm going to go directly under this hole that is 60 feet up in the air. Now I'm going to cast Create Bonfire in the mouth of that hole right now.
Oh, good. Like we haven't experienced this before.
There's no liquid dripping. There's no, we're okay.
As you approach, you can see, as you walk, you can see as you approach that the fungal mass that's around the hole is still red and appears to also be slightly inside the hole as you ready your spell.
Yeah, it was just tried to kill more of us. I'm going to. It seems like this life force wants this creature removed. It is clearly a pest.
So you pop a bonfire in the hole?
It's a 5-foot square of fire. So I'm just putting it in the mouth of the hole because that's as far as I can reach. Even if it just scares the creature further back away from us.
Okay. So the bonfire lights, and you hear a hissing noise, and Bob and Renningham both hear it in their heads. It is a sensation of frustration. It is a sensation of anger. It is a sensation of pain. As you watch the tendrils that had surrounded the hole and branched out turn bright red, then turn a deep purple before they kind of just turn black from the main line and over. And you watch the hole no longer has the red circle around it. It just kind of goes dark. And the only thing left that's generating light is the bonfire in the hole.
And then I end the spell.
Okay. The spot where the stuff had kind of disconnected from is still faintly purple along the line where the rest of it is red. And you can kind of hear it still echoing in the back of your head a little bit of the sensation of frustration and anger and pain.
Maybe it was upset because it wanted us to leave.
Because Bob's Speak with Animals is still active because it's 10 minutes and it hasn't been 10 minutes yet.
Yeah. So I'm convinced that it's still there, right? That this bonfire has not vanquished the foe.
You are pretty certain it's not vanquished. Whether or not it's present is
you don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, you cannot see.
All right, back to searching alcoves, seeing the way out of here.
I'm keeping an eye on this hole. I'm kind of fixated on it. I don't like it when creatures try to kill me.
Yeah, and I just want to find
away.
Yep.
I just want to find an entrance or an exit. You know, I don't really know which one's which right now, but I want to find one and see if I can discern maybe where it goes, whether it be markings or something indicating which direction it's going.
So, as you explore, are you going to try to get back up on the balcony, or are you going to stay on the ground level as you look around?
I know there's 5 different kind of directions.
Areas around. Yep, you came from one. You've basically spot checked 2 of them as you're making your way gradually around this large room.
And then I know the 2 on the right are the ones I checked. The 2 on the left are doorways that lead down tunnels. So there's one more I haven't checked in the middle on the opposite side. So I want to check that one.
Okay. So as you continue along with your investigation, what you've determined first of all is that the room as a whole is standing from one side to the other. It's just barely beyond the extent of your sight range. So you have 120 feet, and this seems to just barely brush the edge of that and in diameter across the room. So from anywhere in the room, you can basically see most of the other spots. It's just the very last few feet that just kind of blur out, where it's just not as readily visible, which is why I knew my dimensions were a little bit off when mentioning before where you were standing and stuff like that, but it didn't matter. After I realized my mistake with the creature, it didn't matter. So you now make it along, and this is the third place that you're checking, that, you know, besides the one that you came in. And instead of finding like a tunnel or any sort of stairs, you see that it only goes back about 15-20 feet before there is a carved out perfect square in the floor that just goes down into darkness. And
interesting.
On the wall you can see some routing, and there is an unlit crystalline object mounted on the wall that happens to have metal bands all the way around it and across it. Not terribly dissimilar to the types of lights that you saw when you guys were first entering the mining complex on the handcart, the ones that lined the walls.
Just
one. And there's a conduit that appears to go on the right-hand side, and there's a conduit of some sort that seems to kind of follow along down and goes along the edge in the corner down this dark square.
And is it something I can light, or is that like can I light it?
Try.
Yeah, I would like to try and light it.
How would you like to try and light it? It's a crystal hidden behind, like covered by a metallic, like banded structure, kind of like a lantern bands. Roll me a straight intelligence check.
10.
Okay. Think through the time that you've been here, and it was absolutely some of the first times you've ever seen any sort of glowing light out of crystals in this fashion. You're aware of how magic works in different ways and just can do different things. This looks very much like the same gnomish, dwarvish hybrid construction as what was also generating the large crystalline light at the top of the grand switch area where the train cars were kind of all moving around. The same kind of lighting that was in the train stations, the zones where all the cars were all lined up. This appears to be of similar construction and design as what you've seen, but you have no idea how they generate power to be lit or to glow, whether there's interactions with them. It's just not something that you guys have asked.
Is the crystal exposed? Like behind, obviously there's bars, but is there like glass in front of it? Or is it like, could I reach through the bar and touch it?
You can reach through the bar and touch the crystal. It's solidly mounted to where it is. If you reach through and you touch it, it's not gonna move really.
Okay, I will.
Well, before you do that, is there any writing on anything? Like any labels? A plaque maybe?
You don't even need a real perception or investigation check. There's no markings yet around here. From what you are aware of at the area, it's still under construction, so whether or not those labels and things have been put in place yet, hard to say.
I just want to shoot an Eldritch Blast down the shaft and see how deep it goes.
What? Correct.
That's it.
I like how that has become, aside from like lighting things on fire, our new exploratory method here. Just I'm gonna Eldritch Blast. That's what we're gonna
Shoot
do.
things. Yeah, I gotta figure it out.
Shoot and see how far it goes. All right.
That's about where my intelligence at
it goes down, and there aren't any other rocks that we can drop.
But you can't see. It's dark.
Yeah, but you can listen, count the seconds. One misses.
You're not in the room. It's just me. I'm Eldritch blasting it.
Then do it. Get blasted.
Do you guys all see from across the atrium where there's a blast of purplish energy that just kind of like pops for a second, and similar to Rinningham's flashbang earlier up in the ceiling with the sparkles. Klor, you watch as this bolt of energy doesn't emanate a whole ton of light, but it goes, and it is hard to tell whether it hit the extent of the spell before it fizzled out, or if it just barely splashed against a hard surface at the bottom.
Guys, come look at this. I found a deep hole.
That's what he said.
Could be.
I peer over and go, that it looks deep. How deep is it?
At least 120 feet. But I don't really know.
Technically correct, which is we all know is the best kind of correct.
It is in fact the best kind of correct. It's my favorite.
There's a light.
Correct.
There's a light over here, but I don't know how to turn it on.
Are there
probably
any...
the control room that I found on the map?
Have you tried using a pickup line?
Are there any metallic objects around?
Well played, Sam. Well played. Metallic objects. Yes, there are some tools like chisels, pickaxes, hammers.
Okay, I want to take a chisel. I want to take a Wait.
Which one? Which one?
I mean, there's multiples of each one, I assume.
Yeah, no, there's a bunch of them, yeah.
There's just a single pick. I'm going to grab a hammer, and I'm going to cast heat metal on the head of the hammer so that it glows red hot.
Okay.
And then I'm going to drop it down the hole.
Okay. I see. I like where this is going.
Me too. Something's going to get really mad.
It's just a hole. I want to see how far it is.
So
I'm sorry, I've got a one question here for you, Stuart. In this entire adventure here, have we actually encountered something that was just a hole?
Dude,
something
there's always a first time.
Like...
There's always a first time for everything. Most things. Everything has a first time. This will be the first time that it's just a hole. All we're gonna hear is a dull thud, and there's gonna be a little pinprick of light as there's a hammer at the bottom of the hole.
Mm-hmm.
And there's red hot flames on the hammer and the hole in the bottom of the shaft.
And he pulls out the kazoo and starts.
I'm actually imagining the scene in Endgame where Hawkeye shoots the arrow down the hallway, and it's just all of the monsters just chasing him down the hallway. That's what I'm imagining is about to happen.
Yes, you see that the entire wall is covered in cave fissures as they are making... No, what you do see, however, is way down there. For Klor and Pen, who have dark vision, it's a little bit clearer because dark vision is canonically infrared-esque in nature. You can see at the bottom what appears to be almost exactly 120 feet down.
I told you.
Glowing spot in the ground. Just a faint... For you guys with dark vision, it shows up as white. For those of you who have color vision, it is faintly orange and beginning to dim pretty rapidly as it just kind of is no longer next to its heat source. And then for those of you with dark vision, you can actually see that the spot around it is glowing a little bit more. It just kind of has a kind of radiating off into the surface wherever it has landed. You can see anything about it on the way down, and it's too far away to really make out much other detail. Just a dark shaft into the dark. It's deep down.
Hey, Bob, do you want to fly down there and check out this hole too?
Isn't he still a bat?
No, he's transformed back into his regular form, but he's still fixated on the cave fissure. He hasn't noticed any of what's going on down here.
So hey, Bob, do you want to fly down this hole and check it out?
and leave this thing at our back that's already tried to eat us once? That sounds like a good idea. We know that we have a threat here, so we'll just wander off and leave it?
No, you're right. We should stay here and stare at it all day.
I understand. Okay, I need to do an intelligence check here, or no, a knowledge nature check.
I was gonna say knowledge nature is a little bit more fitting, but
well, we're deciding. Do I have the good sense to know that I can't kill this thing by myself? Let's find out.
I'd say probably could discern that from your previous roll, honestly. Yeah, I'm gonna give it to you from your previous roll. Yeah, you know that taking one of these on by yourself is no simple task. They are really good at tackling one target at a time. That's what it does.
That's kind of their forte.
Yeah. In fact, all of you together working on it was
going to be a challenge.
It was gonna be a bit of a challenge. Yeah.
Yep, it was. All right. So how far off the ground am I? 60 feet? 40 feet?
30.
30 feet.
Yeah, because you're standing on a balcony. You found a clear spot to land and do your thing.
And there's no like actual way down other than like using.
You haven't looked around and explored this balcony at all. You've been up here dead staring at where you were.
You're absolutely right. Let's look and see if I can find a way down. Let's explore this balcony, see what we can find.
Kind of walking along and using the narrower sections to navigate. You can kind of see the spots where they've been, leaning up some of the ladders at some point to when they started this. They didn't start in one spot and work their way. They just kind of laid them up and just started carving it out. And so the places where you have to kind of walk closer along the wall are pretty evenly spaced. As you do, though, you find one section where they had started to carve out what appears to be a smaller, portcullis passageway style. I say portcullis, I don't even know if it's the right word, where it's, just rounded top,
No crenellation on it, it's just there.
There, yeah. And you find one that isn't, only 5 or 10 feet deep.
Okay. So...
And off down, probably 60, 80 feet or so, from what you can tell, there appears to be a faint light at the end.
Let's head down that way.
Okay. So for the rest of the party, real quick, Bob doesn't really, say anything about wanting to fly down. And Bob, you kind of start doing your exploring and start making your way down this tunnel.
Yep. No, okay. Wait a minute. Do I have any reason to believe that this tunnel is going to get me back onto the ground with the rest of my party?
Your party was telling you that there's a hole that goes down that they wanted you to explore, and this is not down.
Okay. Then in that case, that's my goal is to get from 30 feet off the ground to on the ground. So my exploration is geared in that thought process.
Okay. So in the pursuit of not down further underground, you continue down this hallway. Is that the way I'm understanding that?
If I believe that it will get me to the rest of my party, yes.
Oh.
I mean, I'm kind of having a hard time visualizing it. It sounds like it leads me away from, and
yes.
there's no.
So it leads in like a straight line, just like if this is a round area, it just kind of leads you off in a straight direction, off from the second floor, and you know that they're on the first floor, down somewhere, looking down at something.
Yeah, then
so this leads you away from the party.
That does not meet my criteria, so we're going to bypass that and keep. We're looking for like a ladder or a rope or stairs carved in the wall. No.
Unfortunately, as you make your way around like that, no. The place was very in progress.
All right, give me a second. Let me see. All right, let me think about this. So you guys want me to go climb down a hole in the ground? Is that what I'm hearing?
There's a hole in the bottom of the sea.
Well, I was hoping you could fly like you did before.
Huh.
There's a hole. There's a hole in the bottom of the sea.
There's
I seem to have dropped my hammer.
Aw.
Be careful though; it's a little hot.
So here's the I fly down a hole. Flying in a hole is not an easy task. I'm thinking perhaps maybe climbing down would be a better decision.
Well, we could just go down one of these hallways too. It's just a hole in the ground.
We have rope.
You know what? Because I don't think flying is a good idea. I've got to get down from this surface anyway. I've only got one more shapeshift left, so I got to pick something that's going to be like reasonably effective. I want to go with the shape of a giant spider and climb down from this balcony and head over to this hole.
How big is the giant spider?
Do what now?
How big is the giant spider?
That's a small pony.
Yeah.
Let's say, isn't it classified as a medium-sized creature?
Yeah.
It's big.
Think of like a pony-sized spider.
Right. Yeah. Can I ride it?
Maybe not.
I mean, technically, yes, but it has to make more checks than if it were, say, a size category larger than you. It was a large, because I want to say, yeah, like a centaur is considered a medium-sized creature, despite physically taking up more space than the average medium-sized creature. But a horse is considered large. So that's why this is a pony, but you now have to think about the effort between a pony and a horse carrying a person as, like Pen.
Yeah. Okay. So we're climbing down because we're using our spider climb ability. We get down to the surface, and I'm going to.
Do spiders have dark vision?
That's a good question.
They don't. That feels canonically
yes,
wrong.
they do.
They do have dark vision. Okay. Nice. As you start to do your spider climby ways down, you notice that the texture underneath all the little fine hairs on the bottom of your spider feet begin to have not necessarily a hard time, it's just a different sensation as you try to grip the wall. And it's not terribly dissimilar to what you remember your more humanoid hands feeling when you touched some of the lichen when you hit some of the drier spots. And so as you continue down, you can kind of feel every so often, one of your 8 legs slips slightly as it fails to grip the surface as cleanly as you would expect, and has to correct. But the other of your legs are more than enough to compensate as you make your way down. Starts to get a little bit more difficult as you hit about 80 feet down, but it's not enough to truly stop you from. Did my cat really just climb up there? He did. One moment, my cat just decided to climb my clothing.
Okay.
Sir, really?
The other day, I caught B trying to climb up on top of the blinds in my house, which was a problem because I'm not sure that they could withstand the full force of her 9.5 pound weight. But also, she's definitely not supposed to be on top of the blinds.
But she don't care.
No, she doesn't.
Yeah, there's a box in my closet that gives him just enough height to be able to reach the top of my clothing that he can then climb onto the shelf on top of that. So he had decided that was what he wanted to do just then. I normally have that closet shut and I just forgot. So anyway,
he saw an opportunity.
He did. He saw an opportunity for I want to go the up, and the up is there, so I will go. So yeah, Bob, as you continue your climb down, the remaining 40 feet take you a little bit more effort. You recognize that if you were, let's just say, a creature with fewer limbs to be able to grip the surface, it would have been a much more difficult descent.
Gotcha. Cool.
Now, ascending might be a little interesting if you are not in a spidery form, as getting traction might not be the easiest.
I understand.
And as you reach the bottom, you can kind of see that the access way, the doorway into the bottom of this section appears to be about 15 feet tall. Seems to be a 15 by 15 square. Dead center of the landing is a hammer hammerhead. The shaft of the handle is cracked and appears to be slightly charred near where the head was really hot. And this surface here appears to be some combination of metal and wood. And it appears to be slightly suspended. It doesn't appear to be, it appears to be resting on something beneath it. And you can see that there's a metal wire tubing that kind of goes along the side of the wall into where you're at, and then kind of climb up, all the way back up to where the party was.
All right, let's investigate a little bit more the support for this structure, and what if it's being supported and held up, what is it being supported and held up above? Let's investigate that.
Okay, give me an investigation check, and that'll really get us the level of detail here.
Okie dokie. Bam! It is 11.
Okay.
I'm
as you
good
kind
at
of
investigating,
root around, and you're able to climb back up onto the wall slightly to get different angles, and you're kind of looking at how this surface is, and you kind of scrape along some of the edge of where the dead lichen was. What you've gathered is that this landing appears to be more of a platform. The platform is most solid in the center.
Okay.
It doesn't appear to be suspended more than a couple of inches above what appears to be a rock bottom, and except in the center where it seems to be the most stationary, the most solid.
So it's suspended above a rock, just a couple of inches. That's weird. Is there anything unusual about the rock?
It's perfectly circular in the center.
Perfectly.
So it was crafted then. All right. I mean,
Sorry, go ahead.
It looks like it's crafted?
Yes, it looks definitely... everything about it looks very intentional in nature. This platform appears to be sitting on something... it's suspended above rock, and then in the center is where it's most stationary, and that appears to be also solid rock.
He's sneaking up on you.
He is. He's doing something he's not supposed to. Anyway,
He's being predator cat.
Oh no, he's being I want attention right now, and I know you're doing something, cat.
A baby.
Oh, I'd put him on stream if he was closer, but anyway.
I get it. Now the thing that looks like that, the description made me think of an electrical conduit that went up the wall. Well, let's take a look at it. What do I discern from taking a closer look at it?
So it goes and hugs the corner, and you can kind of see that there's like a slight groove that gives it some space from the platform at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
So the platform itself would never touch the conduit itself, and it goes up the corner of the wall, basically where this, the tunnel kind of, yeah. And then the other end goes out into a medium-sized room that appears to have lots of other conduity looking and shaped materials. There's more of those crystalline mounted light structures. Some of them have markings. What languages do you read?
Ooh, that's a good question. Hang on, let me see if I can figure that out real quick. Languages. We have Celestial, Common, Druidic, Elvish, and Sylvian.
I want to say you recognize the script, but not the text, because I have to double check that one. Languages. So you definitely can't read it, but the script is kind of like a hybrid of Elvish and Dwarvish from what you've ever seen. It's got some of the technical precision of like the Dwarvish fonts that you've ever, seen stuff. Not that you can read Dwarvish, but you recognize like, oh yeah, that's distinctly Dwarvish. But it's got some of the fluid and almost like artistic nature of Elvish. But it is definitely neither of those. You have no idea what it says. And there are different signs and symbols that are all headlined in whatever language this is.
Okay. So can I meander over to this medium-sized room and just kind of poke my beady little eyes in there and see what I see?
You can. As you walk in, you can see that there are several entrances to this room, two of which appear to be, they definitely look like doors, but they appear to be mounted into the walls, and they look to be something that slides together, and they are made of metal. On the opposite side of the room is a door that happens to be of similar construction, however it is ajar. One of the doors is kind of canted, and kind of growing on the floor along the door, and especially along the ceiling, is a yellow-orange lichen fungal mass that appears to be kind of permeating and stretching its way into the room.
Ooh, I've played BioShock. That screams investigate.
You take all of 2 steps forward before a humanoid mass kind of just shifts and peeks into the doorway.
Oh, creepy!
And that is where we'll end tonight's session.
Cool.
I loved it. Thank you, DM. That was great.
That was great.
Glad you guys were able to be here. I am excited for picking up from here on next week, hopefully. As Bob did the best thing ever by splitting the party, and
hear something from the bottom of the pit, like a Wilhelm scream.
Yes, Bob agreed to splitting up the party. Yep.
This is like right on track for this group. Isn't that what always happens? We always split the party in some way, shape, or form.
Yep. Don't you know? You always split the party.
It's the best thing.
On goes, DM.
Nobody wants to hear a story about where everything goes the way it's supposed to. All the best ones are about when things go wrong.
What if I want to hear that story? Ever thought of that?
Theo's not here to hear the story. I'm sorry.
No, but I'm the player. I'm not Theo. I want to hear the story that everything goes right.
It's too happy. It's not worth it.
Oh.
All right. So that's that. So I guess I'll see you all, and you all, and you all, and you all, next week.
See you next Tuesday.
Thank you, Dan. That was super fun to listen to. Good job, guys.
All right.
Nighty-night.